That's just my to go to
Good.
all the time. You
That's
look
fine.
you're relaxed.
Very relaxed.
Your eyes rip from so quick.
Oh wow. Well, thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I think you're the first one who has done like a back to back.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Everybody.
well, yeah. I've seen. Don't worry. I promise you. I plan on watching all of them. I promise you.
Good.
I keep seeing say I support you and I watch your stuff.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm gonna make sure
fantastic.
to watch it.
I appreciate it.
I seen the views so far. I'm like, wow, he's getting places. You got more
Hopefully.
than people who I know, but then again, some of those people are in the music industry rather
Hmm.
than a podcast. So I mean, I'm not sure how followers work and everything, but you're doing great in my opinion.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks. Yeah, it'll make me blush for my own
I'm sorry.
podcast. No, it's fine. So last time we talked about relationships, but
Mhm.
this time we're gonna talk about um once you're out of a relationship and growing
Mhm.
and becoming a better person. I know that was something that you wanted to speak about, so you can start it off. I guess this is this is her
Uh,
podcast, so to say.
so I won't say that, but I do have a question for you. So
Oh.
I remember having a conversation with my ex about growth.
Hmm.
I believe you should be growing every year. I wouldn't say you have to grow every day because every day is a new day.
Hmm.
Life is always consistently unexpected. And so, um, how do you believe, how can I say, do you think let's say you had a friend that you haven't seen in a
Hmm.
while, but you remember how they were. Are you expecting them to be that same person 2 or 3 years from now, or are you hoping that they've changed for better, or what?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
No, no, I understand.
Okay.
So probably expect them to stay the same because that evolved them. I don't know that side of them if they ever, did grow up or did get better with whatever. I don't know that part of them, so it'd be hard for me to imagine what that would be like. So
Mhm.
I would probably think that they would stay the same, and then once I met them or we got closer again, then I would adjust to their new lifestyle and then who they are now. So I think
See,
that's
I guess I should have. I feel
yeah.
like that question was just terrible.
No, no, it's fine. It's
But
just you really can't expect people to be on your mindset or even
yes,
the time that you
yes.
want to be better. Some people it takes when they're 20, when they're 30. Some people don't change at all. As we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier. So yeah, I mean, if you did want somebody to be better, um, it would kind of be tough, and I feel like that's a big like letdown, knowing that you have matured and you expect this person that you held so dear to you to mature as well, but when they stayed the same, then it's like, man, I really miss what we have, but now I can't relate to you just because we're at two separate stages of our lives. So
Hmm. So, how do you think someone can change? Do you have any ways? Do you know what's the first start? I know. So if you don't know, I don't mind telling you because I
no,
just recently learned this. So
no,
I
I
was just
want, I want
asking
to, I
you.
want to hear what you have to say after.
So,
Oh, okay, go.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say after, but you're passionate, so it
No,
doesn't
go
matter.
ahead, please.
So, how to start the change? First, you're gonna want to change. That's the big thing. But that's another question in itself. It's like, how do you know when it's time for change? Because when you're so comfortable, do you even see what you're going through? We were talking earlier. Some people have been in the same position and they don't see that it's wrong.
Hmm.
So it's like,
So
yeah. So I guess I wanted to hear yours because
my intake on that is people who people who want to change. I truly think you've been at your lowest. I feel like people only change when they've been at their lowest and they
hmm
really see now that they have to try to be better. But the only way to start change is by acknowledging what you've done and accepting your faults, and stop trying to blame other people for how your life is turning out,
Right.
and stop trying to make excuses for the way your life is. Well, my mom was this, or my childhood was. That's not an excuse. I understand it plays a strong big role in who you are
Right.
as a person, but your childhood plays such a major part, and a lot of us don't realize it. But you know how we love talking about I can't wait till I turn 18, I'm grown.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about how you need to also be accountable of your actions as well, you know. And I feel like with change, you need to accept all your mistakes and forgive yourself for allowing yourself to go through those things.
Yeah.
And for some people, they're just used to complaining. If you're not surrounding yourself with new people, if you're not trying to change your situation you're living by trying to speak to the ones that's affecting your life, instead of just allowing them to continue to mess with your life or do whatever they want to and disturb your peace, you're never going to find that change, in my opinion, if that makes
Right.
sense.
No. No, that's perfectly. Oh my goodness, it makes sense. Sorry, I forgot the word I was gonna use. No, but yeah, like you were saying, you can't blame certain people in your past for the reasons that you
Hmm.
can't move forward. I don't know if you saw the father podcast that I did. Um, I said something that in there that kind of relates to this, but I was like, some people grow up and don't want to be like their parents, but there's nothing that your parents did to you as a child that you are like forced to do. You know, you only do those things if you allow yourself to do those things.
Hmm.
So being afraid that you're going to be your parents is kind of like a waste of thought, you know,
Hmm.
because if you want to be better, you'll do better. You
Hmm.
may have some of those characteristics, you know. Sometimes I get upset with my son and I sound like how my dad sounded when I talk to him. And I have to make a mental note like, hey, next time, you know, say this better or remember he's only two or
That and the fact that you were able to catch yourself, I mean, even if it happened after the fact, you still was aware of what you've done and you realized
mhm,
you didn't like how you approached. So all I know for a fact is when it happens again, you won't, I know for a fact you won't do it again
right.
because you've put it in a mental note and you really want to do better than what your father was to you, or just be a better father in general for yourself.
Of course, yeah. So I guess it goes back to the you know the change, and I mean I guess we probably answered it,
What was the
but
question anyway? Oh,
yeah,
do we believe? Oh, yeah, we did answer
yeah.
the
Do we
question. Yeah, I
good?
forgot what the question was. I'm not gonna lie,
See, guys, we're comfortable
but
this time. We're gonna mess up. It's okay.
yeah, like we've been friends, but not friends, if that makes sense. So we're trying to build that. I feel
Yeah,
like. So we'll see.
yeah, because
Yeah.
we had the same class together. Did you know your ex at that time? When I think it was like senior year.
So why I met him, my first time meeting him, I just seen him. I didn't
Okay.
actually introduce myself. I seen him, and I was not attracted to him when I first seen him. He had a mohawk. He was tall,
He had a mohawk.
glasses. To me, he had a mohawk. Oh wait, never mind. I'm just thinking about his Facebook pictures. No, he
Oh,
had an afro. He had an
yeah. I was
afro.
about to. I was
He had an
like,
afro, but he
all
still.
right.
I don't remember if he was super skinny as he is. Well, he's not really super skinny, but seeing him with the afro and just the glasses and everything, I'm just like, ah. Well, we just bought. He never seen me though.
Mm,
But then we had a mutual friend, and she ended up introducing us, but not in that way. You know, we only seen each other once,
right.
and then it was senior year. It took senior year for us to finally have a class, and it was an English class. Even then, we still didn't talk until maybe towards second semester around February and March because we went through like three different teachers, and about a third
Golly.
teacher, we but our third teacher, I think me and him was pretty much talking a little bit with my friends and stuff like that. And yeah, so it was like senior year when we actually started talking. And I
Hmm.
invited him. We didn't really start talking that in school though. I just seen him as a friend, but I was attracted to him because I was talking to someone else at the time.
Hmm.
So, but was we even together? Anyway, I was talking to someone else at the time, but I mean, I was no, the time I met him and I started to like him, I was single. But
Okay.
we and him really did not start talking until June after school.
Oh damn.
and I wasn't single. I mean, I was single. I was single. I was
Hey, your
single.
doctors probably had the right answer.
No, I was. I was. I
Oh,
swear.
that's hilarious.
I was single, and I even invited him to my go away dinner because
Hmm.
I went to college for a
Right.
little bit, and he came to my dinner and we went to the movies and stuff like that. It was
Oh, that's
yeah,
sweet.
yeah. We hung out before then because he invited me to a park and he was so sweet. He had brought me a little rose and stuff. I wasn't prepared for it.
Really?
Yeah, and he was a gentleman. Sadly, he didn't kiss me that first night, but
See,
it was nice. It
so
was still nice.
I was watching I think 90 Days something, but have you
Fiance?
I think it was either Fiance or
Oh,
90 Days to Do It or something like that. But it was with Big Ed and Rose. Oh,
never seen it.
the short chubby guy with no neck, and he was dating a Filipino girl.
I never seen it in
No,
my life.
oh,
You just put a terrible image in my head,
it's
though.
just, it's probably funnier than what you're thinking. Anyway, he gets this new
No.
girl, and the producers was like, "You gonna kiss her on the first date?" He was like, "No, I'll probably wait till the third date." Blah blah blah. And he was like, "I'm gonna do it," and he went to kiss her, and she was like, "No," and put her head down and kissed her. He kissed her on the nose. And I was like, "See, men don't know when to go in for the kiss, so
So
don't be saying first date, blah blah blah."
okay, so first off, I didn't even. I'm not even. So at the time, I don't know if I wanted him to kiss me. I was nervous though, but I did enjoy him. I was. I Let me say I wasn't expecting it, but if he were to do it, I would have been okay. I
Mm,
wasn't expecting kiss, but if he would have, I would have been okay with it.
gotcha.
And the whole thing you said, I remember I don't know what I was reading or watching, but some man was I remember a man saying that usually they will wait 3 days. They'll go
Mm,
take a woman on 3 dates before they even offer a kiss. Nowadays you can just go and have a date and still get lucky. I had to wait
man, you
day
get
three to get a kiss and stuff like
man.
that. I'm like, wow, but I like that.
Those big doubles go a long
But
way.
honestly, I feel like a lot of men can see the signs. Women will give you a sign if they're interested or not interested. I can't, at least I will, because it's been a while since I've been on a date with another guy.
Mhm.
So I don't really, I can only speak for myself. Ask me,
Actually,
just ask me. I feel like ask and you shall receive. Or, I mean, it might not be the answer you want, but it's better asking than to try to do it and then actually get rejected like by that. 'Cause I feel like that's way like if you were to ask and they will say no, I'm not like that. I feel like they would try to say it nicer versus you going in there like,
oh yeah,
or they're doing this. Like I feel like that would hurt y'all even more than a no.
yeah. I don't know. I'm afraid.
You're
I hell.
don't be scared.
So my first kiss, I feel like she stole it because I was talking to her and she just went. So I'm just like, okay, that happened.
You
But I'm
took
just
too
like, I
long.
tried to play it cool because
You're a guy.
yeah, yeah.
You're a guy. That's why you try to play it cool.
No, but it's like I don't know. I'm afraid of rejection, so I don't.
It's just
Mm-mm.
it's Nate.
And
Everyone
especially in
is.
school, I don't want to ask a girl out. She say no, and then she tell everybody. That's like everybody know everybody at school. I did not want to take that chance.
Yeah.
I was cool. I
Yeah.
was like, I'll just admire from afar.
I'm dead. But hey, it's normal though, because rejection it sucks, but it's normal. Everyone goes through it.
Yeah, but hell, my goodness.
But hey, you that 100 might be special or something. I don't know. You keep shooting that shot until maybe it happens.
Yeah, maybe my arms are gonna get tired. I'm gonna have to take a fucking chill pill or something.
I'm dead. But yeah.
That's exciting. I guess. That's what we're talking about. Anyway, okay, so we talked about growth, and you're really big on growth. When did you start implementing this into your life, like fully, and what have you done to stay consistent?
So I wanted to start growing last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I did start. I've done a lot of I did start growing. I don't get angry as much as I used to.
That's a good thing.
My tone and my communicating skills have improved tremendously. I can speak to you without yelling. even if I'm upset, I can speak to you. The only time I might yell is, well, even then I won't yell, but I will raise my voice if I feel like you're when you start assuming what I'm trying to say instead of just letting me speak on what I mean. If you will let me talk, then maybe I might get loud like that.
See,
But
that's good because I was yelled at as a child, and especially with my son's mom, just like stop yelling, like you don't gotta yell.
see, I try not to yell, and usually I do really good. And I catch myself. I can feel I can hear well I can see myself about to yell, or I'll be in a process. Then I will take a deep breath, exhale, close my eyes, open back up again, repeat what I just said nicely. We're gonna try this again. You're not gonna make me mad, especially if I've been having a good day. I
Right.
refuse to yell because there's no need of it. I feel like it just makes things worse because it's easy to communicate without yelling. It's not
Right.
that hard. It's just listening. People need to listen.
Yeah.
And I do suck at listening. I'm not gonna lie. I suck, but I've been working on it, I think. But what I've been doing to grow, yeah, I fixed my tone because I'm a person who tells the truth.
Mhm.
I don't mind speaking the truth, but I believe you can be nice about it. Sometimes I'm not always nice when I say the truth.
It's not on purpose, right?
It's never on purpose. Sometimes I could be just so into whatever we're talking about. My tone might change because this is how serious I am involved with it, but I don't ever try to come off as the V word or as mean. So
Right.
if I can see myself coming at you with hostility, then of course I'm gonna check myself and I will apologize to you for my tone. I never apologize for what I say, but I'll always apologize for my voice because I didn't have to deliver that message to you the way I did. It could have came out a lot better if I actually took the time to think of how to say it to you.
Yeah. Man, I wish all women was like that.
It's just
Golly.
it's just honestly growth. And I'm a woman, but I'm not as independent as most are.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can be, I just choose not to be because it's always better with two, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Two brains is always better than one, and we're not meant to be alone.
Right.
But I completely understand the whole not gonna take care of a man and all this other stuff to an extent.
Yeah.
I'm
See, I heard this. I heard this thing. I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong,
mm,
but I heard men are. I wouldn't say better, but like men will get with a woman and build her up. Women, if they're successful, they ain't getting no broke man and building him up. Is that true?
so that I don't know because I'm not a rich woman, so I can't relate.
Okay, okay, but
But
the woman you are now, if you had a childish boy with like,
uh-huh.
hey, ma, what's your number?
So the woman I am, first of all, you're not gonna approach me like a ma. I would like an excuse me. You ain't gotta say ma'am to me, but just say excuse me. Don't the minute you approach me as if you're some nigga, excuse my language, nigga from the streets, I'm automatically know I already know what you're about. I'm not gonna waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is I'm too nice to reject a guy. Like I would still probably give them my number, but I'm just not gonna talk to them. Because there's a lot of men who take offensive and really hurt women for
Yeah,
rejection, and I just don't have the time. But eventually I'll work on it so I just say no, and I don't care how they feel. It is what it is. But for me, I I've taken care of a man without a job for years. Well,
mm-hmm.
for like a year or two, a little bit. It wasn't as bad because he still helped me out to an extent. But I would prefer a man with a job. Now you don't have to have six figures.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have seven or nothing like that. You can't be working at McDonald's. You can't work at fast
You
food.
have to have ambition.
Listen, you can work at retail store. I'm okay with you working at retail as a manager. You can
Mm-hmm.
work at warehouse market. I don't want to see you working at McDonald's. You're
Right.
probably making more at warehouse market than you were at McDonald's. But I think it's just all about the man because what was the question? Could I?
No,
Is
no,
it
it's
true
yeah. Is
about
it true
women?
that women won't build a man
So
up?
from my understanding, I
Don't
want
be.
honestly, I want to disagree. And I've had men who's rich. Well, actually, I said I haven't went on a date in months with another guy, which is true, but last year around maybe September. No, around October, November, I did start seeing another guy. It didn't work out. He tried to rape me, and I cut all that off. It's okay. I
I'm
was.
too high for that.
Listen,
I was like, oh my goodness.
I'm not
Blink twice if
tripping.
you need
It's
help.
because I could have just I always carry in I don't always carry it, no, I always have a knife on me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this is my first time going to a guy's house by myself in such a long time. It's like my
Goodness.
very first time ever, and this man is in his 30s. So I already know it's like okay, I'm keeping he's African too. And why tell me why I'm not gonna say about African men.
No, you know what's crazy?
There's nothing wrong with them, but my friend tried to tell me that they are known to be of that nature. And it was like it was too late because I didn't want to cancel over the text message, so I ended up going in person. But it was just, I was telling him I'm not ready. I just got out of a relationship a few months ago, like 6 months ago. I'm still not ready to date. I don't want to date. I think you're moving too fast for me, calling me out my name, my baby. Well, I mean, by calling me out my name, he was calling me pet names. And it's like, just call me my name. I don't need all that. And he made dinner. Dinner was great. He introduced me to a lot of stuff that I never had, and I enjoyed. He bought me a lot of stuff too. I didn't take none of. I took nothing from him though. But he was really a sweetheart until and thing about it is he said he was a child of God. I'm like, oh well, hey, look at that, a Christian finally. Okay, and for him to do what he did, it was just
that's where they get you.
It was just like, and it was crazy. I actually seen him last week with it was me, my baby daddy, my cousin. We went to the club. I seen him, and I was like, I don't think that's him, but it was him.
Goodness.
And it scared me because I haven't seen him since then. We used to work together as well, and so I just got all off topic, bro. I'm really going to these.
We're at 21 minutes. We have 60 minutes to go.
Okay, so we used to work together, so I met him from work. He came and approached me because at the time when I was working, I was not entertaining men. I was not making eye contact because if I knew if I made eye contact, it was going to talk to me. And I was like, I'm just going to keep looking ahead. But he had the balls to come to my station and talk to me, and I'm like, okay, hello, I'm nice. I gave him my conversation. Everything was cool. He seemed cool. So that's how we started talking. That's how we went out.
Did he have the accent?
Yes, so strong, but I could understand him to an extent. But he was patient and he was okay with repeating himself to me when I didn't understand him. So I'm grateful that he was patient.
Right.
But we had went on maybe 2 or 3 dates, and then I think because after our first date, we was going out almost every morning after work because we worked night shift. So every morning we went somewhere out to eat for breakfast, and he always took me out to eat. And I love that. I enjoyed that. I do not mind. And it's not because of food, it's the fact that wow, I can have a man take me out and won't nothing in return. And I'm giving like the feeling was mutual too, but it was just nice for once being pampered, for once having a man take care of me a little. It was just really nice.
Yeah.
But I wasn't stupid enough to get caught up in it because, I don't believe that men should pay for women foods if we're just friends. Because I feel like someone's going to get the wrong idea eventually, unless y'all really know y'all just friends and that's it. Then go ahead. But anyway, I go to his house. He's on phone with his mom for a little bit. Blah blah blah. Then he cooks dinner. We eat dinner. It was great. He bought me stuff. I tried them on. It was great. I didn't take him with me though. I left him upstairs in his room. It's time to watch a movie.
Try things on. Like shoes?
Oh, he bought me like $200 worth of clothes. Yes, because I was trying to look at the prices. I'm like, these are expensive. Why is he buying all this? Like, what are you doing? He has his own business too. He's a well-established African man, but they all looked great. I loved all of them, and I hate that he's the way because I want them. But I didn't take him. He bought me shoes too. I only tried. He only bought me pants though, so I just tried on because he bought me like 5 pair of sweatpants.
Of course, he bought you pants.
And it was because we was talking, and I was like, I really need to invest in more sweatpants and joggers because it's wintertime and I don't have much. And so he took into consideration when he went shopping, and he bought all those for me. So I
I
was
don't
just
want to say
like,
that's nice because he's an asshole. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
but
say.
I was just like, okay, but I seen him trying to buy me, and I'm like, you
Mm.
can't buy me,
I
even
feel
though
like that's what they do.
he tried to tell me he wasn't. I'm like, I don't know, because I feel like you are. But anyway, we get done with all that. I go back downstairs. We're about to watch a movie. We're watching Columbiana, because I never seen it before.
I've never seen it.
It's good. I would
Really?
recommend you seeing it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch
it's really good, and I love the actor who plays. She's the one. I don't remember her name, but I love her.
What's she playing?
Um, I can't think. Her name is. I swear, is she from a? I don't want to say Marvel and feel stupid because I swear I think she's on a Marvel movie.
Viola Davis?
I think it's a Zoe.
So, oh.
A Z. It starts with a Z. I think her name starts with a Z. But she was one of Thanos' daughters. You remember the daughter,
Oh, Gamora?
the green? What?
The blue one.
Is she the? Was it the
Oh,
blue one, the
is she
Rohan?
green? Okay. Oh yeah, the blue one's the robot. The green one's
Not
Gamora.
her, but the other one. The
Mhm.
one he. I think it was the one he sacrificed
Oh yeah.
for the. I think
Yeah, Gamora.
she. I have to see it. I haven't seen any game since it. But I haven't seen it once. I'm not
Really?
gonna lie. Don't hate me.
Well, shoot,
But
we have time. If you want to look it up, you can. It's like we're not professional this go around.
but
We're
anyway,
okay.
so we're watching that, and every time it was break, he would just try to kiss all on me, and I was like, I told him before. I mean, I was gonna be friends, and on top of that, I already told him I'm not much of a kisser. I don't like kissing. I'm not a.
Really?
I am now, but at the time I wasn't because I wasn't getting that type of affection. I want you to after I have that affection for someone, like I don't do all
Oh,
that. Calm
kissing is too
down.
affectionate. Affectionate.
Yes, even my baby daddy kind of had to deal with that because I'm like, all right, you kiss me too much. Stop. I don't want all that. Or you could be on me for a little bit. All right, calm down. I don't want you touching me no more. I don't want
I
you.
remember last time you left, you were like, "I need my man to do X, Y, Z before he trying to do this."
That's to turn me on,
You're
and that's the
on, okay.
problem because you trying to turn me on could easily make me angry because
What? What are you supposed to do?
listen.
Oh my
Now
goodness.
I can agree. I am kind of complicated with that. I've gotten better though. I'm okay with it. I guess it depends on how you touch me, and I guess it depends on how you kiss me, and it also depends on my mood. Like if I wasn't expecting all that, or if I'm really just chilling, and you just start doing that to me, it's like, come on, move on with all that. Like, move on with all that. But with him, so this is how I was positioned in his house. So this is me. Let's say he's over here. He's right here. This is
Mhm.
me. I'm just over here chilling like this. He grabs my feet. My feet, I keep them just as tight. Grab my feet. I'm pull him up to your lap. Pull him up. See like that. He
Uh-huh.
did that. My leg. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm over here still like this. Like, okay, we can put my leg right here, but and then commercial come
And
off.
see, and then it
He's
goes.
coming. No, commercial comes off. He just gets on top of me and just starts kissing on me and kissing me
Oh.
like I told him like stop. I don't stop. I kind of pushed him off me like yo stop. And he just chuckled. He chuckled at me and just kept kissing all on me and wouldn't get off of me. And then once he finally got off, I could have stabbed him because I had my knife in my pocket. I could have just boom and boom, but I'm not a killer. I'm not a fighter. Even if my life is in danger,
No, you got
but I
to.
didn't feel that scared that he would have. Like I didn't
Mm.
feel that straight energy, but I knew if I did not leave after that happened, it probably something could have happened.
Yeah.
So after that one incident, it was like, okay, yeah, I need to go before something really happened. I really have to kill him.
Yeah.
So I quickly, and the good thing about it is that just in case he's crazy, because my friend just gave me that warning before I came to visit him. I'm gonna have my coat, my shoes exactly right here, right by that door. My keys are gonna be right on top of here. So anything that happened, I was able to grab all my stuff, run to my car, and
Yeah.
but that's how that
I'm
happened.
glad you're safe.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Because, man, those legs were locked.
Man, listen, they were like I wasn't playing. Like and I already told him I wasn't on that type of stuff. Like, why
Mm.
would you even think that I was gonna change? Like,
That's a scary
no.
thing, man. I couldn't imagine. Like,
Listen,
I mean, guys are very privileged. Unless you're in prison. But out on the street, men are pretty privileged. Because I couldn't
oh
imagine
Jesus.
being. I'm not calling women helpless, but when a man is physically stronger and just like takes advantage, I couldn't imagine that. That's so scary to me.
All I know is I've always been prepared for that. Like, let me tell you something. I know I'm a lover and I don't believe in fighting, but I know for a fact if I really need to know, it's time for me to. It's my life or your life. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not finna. You're gonna have to take this from me hard. I'm not gonna just sit here and just. And I'm not saying that that's what other women do because
Right.
a lot of people go
It's the
into
fight or
shock.
flight thing.
It
Yeah.
is because a lot of us is like, oh my god, like, what is this happening to me? Like, what is going on? And for a little bit, I was like that, like, I don't know how to get him to stop.
Yeah.
But I was determined to do something, and I'm pretty sure some women are, and that's okay. I'm not saying what happened is okay to them because it's not, but I don't want them ever feeling like I'm saying anything wrong if they
Right.
watch it, you
Of
know.
course. Yeah.
But
I don't know. I just feel like that's why parents should like stop telling their daughters they're like princesses and you need a prince to
mm,
come save you, blah blah blah. But it's like that's not what life is. Like we're not back in the 50s where men held the door, put the coat down. Like men will for real, like you said, rejection and then end up killing. Like you got to
mm-hmm.
teach your daughters how to defend themselves. You know.
And it's so hard because I'm a person. I'm the woman that's like that man can do. I mean, yeah, I could do it, but it's a man right here. But I gotta do it. It's a man job. Do it. And that might sound so sexist of me, but I'm okay with that. Like,
Very
I am
sexist.
okay with a man doing a man job. You want to go and clean out my car? Go ahead, do that. I'm not gonna sit here. I
Mm-mm.
clean my own car. I can open my own door. No, you can. Thank you. Thank you. You want to put my gas too? Thank you. Open up my seat. Thank you. Like, I don't
Then on
mind
the
it.
flip side, hey, can you cook me dinner? Ugh, you never cook yourself dinner. Hey, can you
No,
throw my clothes in the washing machine?
I love the whole idea of taking care of my man. I
Yeah.
want to clean for him. I want to cook for him. Like, I low key want to. Everything I want to learn in life is literally just to please my man. I'm not even gonna lie. In the case the end of the world ends, like, I'm that person who gonna have everything down packed. Like, I plan on having my own farm, my own garden. We finna be straight where I'm about to be. Like, I'm not trying to do that to try to keep a man either because there's plenty of women who can be everything for a man and man can still cheat.
Of course, yeah.
That's when men just like discipline within themselves, you know. But back to your question, I do believe men can build up women who because they see something. I'm not gonna say you guys can honestly see something in us that we can't see,
Mm.
and some of them see it and will try to help you be better, and some men will see it and try to use it against you. Hopefully, they don't try to use it against you.
Right.
And then there are women who are rich; they've been at the top so long, or they're not. I'm not gonna say they've been at the top for so long, but maybe they've been there where they have to take care of a man. They just got tired of it, so they
Yeah.
just will prefer a man who's making the same as they are. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there's no need to shame other men for not being that type of man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, 'cause
And
I
that
feel
goes
like
vice versa for men to women.
yeah, 'cause I feel like Oprah ain't dating no broke nigga. Like Oprah,
Oprah sold
Oprah
her soul to
ain't.
the white people, so I don't could care less for Oprah. Like,
Speaking of Oprah, did you see the Dave Chappelle skit?
nope.
Nope.
Oh, I haven't seen Dave Chappelle. I haven't seen none of his stuff. Don't look at me like that.
I'm going
Your
to.
friend got old to me, but I'm not. I never grew up watching movies or comedies. I always was stuck
Mm,
watching kid stuff. We couldn't really watch what adults watching is always go to the room.
right.
And a lot of my childhood, all I remember is just being outside all the time. Like I was just an outside baby.
Yeah.
Only time I watched TV was when it was time, well, it was nighttime or no one else was outside. But even then, I still hardly watched TV. I was always playing the game because I
Yeah.
used to have a Wii, or my cousin used to have a PS2.
Man, the Wii used to be
PS2,
killing back then.
PS2. No, my very first game console was a VTech, little VTech thing.
Really?
And then my cousin came with a PS2. Spider Man and The Simpsons was my game.
Everybody loved those.
GTA, I used to play that on PSP because my cousin they
Yeah.
had all the stuff, and for some reason they used to update stuff from my grandma's. I'm gonna go ahead and play it as long as I don't break it. You know, I had
Yeah.
fun playing their stuff too. They didn't
Right.
mind, I don't think, but then again, I think I told them. But
That's hilarious. Oh, anyway, the Dave Chappelle skit. He ends up getting Oprah pregnant, and since she's like a billionaire, he was like, "I made it," and he like just takes advantage of it. It's
I think I
hilarious.
heard of that. I didn't see it, but I heard of something like that, and that cracked me up when I heard it the first time.
See, we're boycotting the TV show Dave Chappelle because they didn't give him his money,
Oh,
so he told people to boycott it.
Okay. Well, look.
Yeah, I mean, you helping out in the cause, but shit, you gotta see it once.
But listen. Okay, I will see it once, and then I'm like, all right, I'm a support.
Yeah, because, man, he was way before his time. Hilarious.
He's
Hold
still
on.
getting backlash.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We ain't gonna talk about that though.
Not this time. Next
We keep not on camera at
time.
all because they
Yeah.
might too many sensitive people.
So you saying you wanted to be everything for your man?
Mhm.
What made you like that? Did your mom have that type of relationship
Nope.
with you? Huh? No. Oh yeah. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I got a bad habit of just saying nope. It's like
No, it's fine. I
once
gotta be more sensitive. I
it's
forget.
you don't gotta be sensitive. I'm just straightforward, and I just don't. Me and my mom don't even. We used to have the best relationship, but we don't anymore. But she taught me nothing about anything of a man. If anything, she taught me how to take care of a man who can't even take care of themselves.
Mm,
Cause I can't sit here and say I've seen her do it, but the more I think about it in life, she was doing that, and I see myself doing that,
right.
and I don't want to do that. But there is, I have, my grandparents is married, and I have an aunt that is married. I'm not really sure how their marriage is,
Mm-hmm.
but I, for myself, just like the whole idea of catering to my man. As long as you want to be the man so bad, I don't mind being the man, but you have to show me you're the man. But I'm not gonna just sit here and be with a man who I can't do that to. So I do want to do those things for a man, but I'm going to be picky on who I do it with. Like you have to show me you're
Yeah.
worthy of it because I'm expecting things too. You
Right.
expect me to be the woman and do my womanly things, which might sound sexist, but I don't mind cleaning and cooking. I've never mind being
It's
a
perfectly
house at
fine.
home wife. But
I feel like that's just a lot. Oh, sorry.
I feel like it's easier too. Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind getting a job if I need to get a job.
Right.
But I know for eventually if you start having a family, I'm not gonna be working. I'm gonna spend 3 years of my child's life before I even go back to
Mm.
work. Because the 3 years are the most crucial in your child. That's their brains are like sponges. Teach
Right.
them as much as you can. And I want to be there with my baby the entire time. I want my baby speaking their ABCs by the time they go to early development school because they will be going to early development
Yeah.
unless their
That stuff is
birthday's
really good.
late.
Yeah.
Cause I went, and my little sister went, and she's about to be in first grade, and she's 5 or 6. I guess it's perfect aging. I guess I'm not sure, but I just think that really helps a lot.
Yeah.
I just like the whole take care of a man, and maybe it's because I've been doing it, so I'm something I'm used to as well.
Well, yeah.
I think I just found my ass. I'm used to taking care of a man,
Yeah.
so and I don't mind it until you start disrespecting me and treating me different. Then that's when that's about to change. I'm gonna start treating you how you treat me.
Right.
And usually that works for you men. But y'all start getting treated how y'all treat us. Y'all, why you doing me like this?
Yeah. It hurts way more.
You
It
did
hurts.
it to me. It doesn't.
It does, man.
How?
Because we're sensitive.
And that's I don't understand. How is it that we're unstable creatures to some, but y'all the main ones who are really really emotional. Y'all act like babies when you're sick.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
I agree.
I don't get it.
I don't know. Have you been dating men, like single mother men? I feel like those are the most sensitive
So
men.
I've only had two boyfriends. So my first boyfriend, I'm not really sure his relationship with his dad. I think he did have a mom. He was cool, but he was more of the wanting to have multiple girls at once, trying to keep his exes in contact and stuff like that. And I'm not sure why. I'm gonna phrase it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he said. Now I'm about to
You have
laugh.
an
I'm
accent?
about to laugh. I remember exactly because you're gonna know what I'm talking about too.
Okay.
You on social media. This is what he said. And I didn't I was 16 when all this was going on. 16, 17. And his words, ever since my grandma died, when I tell you, I was like, I understand, but I mean, I guess like that's all I honestly could have said was just, okay, I guess. Like I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, she don't take care of me. For some reason, something about black men and their grandmas dying. I don't know. Like something in the water. Like I don't
I'm
know.
gonna die when my grandma dies. Goodness.
So that
Oh,
happens. So that means you got to talk to your ex, this new girl you just started working
no,
with.
that's odd.
Yo, that I don't
That's odd.
understand.
That's just using the excuse. Like you know damn well
Hmm.
if your grandma was alive, she wouldn't want you doing all that shit.
Right. So what?
Don't be using
Oh,
her
what?
name in vain.
Sound like some Offset. What? Make it make sense. Because what you gonna do if she was alive? You was still
Right,
gonna be doing this? Who you gonna blame now?
right.
It was just my mama moved away. What? What?
Ever since my mom got diabetes,
Bruh,
your
don't.
mom's okay. She just has to take insulin from time to time. And
Right.
she never had a piece of cake again.
Ever since Coco, my grandma dog died. Like what? It's just
There's
so
been
many
one less bark in my
excuses,
life.
and that's where accountability lies.
Hmm.
But
So, well, I guess we can speak more on that. Accountability. Have you seen in your relationship things that you could be
oh
accountable
yeah,
for,
oh
or do you
yeah.
just think it's all this nigga's fault?
No, it's 50. It's always 50-50. First of all,
Is it though?
it's yes, it always.
Really?
It can be 100 for all I care. It's always both parties' fault. 100, 50-50. It's always both parties' fault. You can't just keep blaming one party, and that's
Hmm.
something I realized because I can blame him for all this, but it's also like, why did you let him do this to you then? If it
Right.
was, why did you keep letting it happen?
Okay. Now I see what you're talking about.
And it got to a point where when I was growing, I was like, I can't really blame him. Even within a relationship, I was like, it's my fault for allowing myself to go through that. And once I was aware that I would allow myself to go through that, I'm not sure if I forgave myself for it, but I am working on forgiving myself because I didn't have to go through that stuff. And being in that relationship taught me so much about, I guess it definitely taught me a lot about me as a person and how I am in relationships,
Hmm.
and also helped me point out my flaws and my problems. And I believe I fixed them. I still can have complaints here and there, but I think um I don't even think of that relationship as a regret or something I wish that never happened. I think of it as a true blessing, and I'm always love him.
Right.
So yeah.
Why do you think you allowed yourself to go through certain things that you allowed yourself to go through?
So I never realized he was dealing with his own problems because you know your friend. He is always he never allows his emotions to display. He always seemed chilled and nonchalant and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But even though I knew him, I didn't know him. But that was also because I myself was ignorant to a lot of things, such as, I wasn't that, I never took into consideration how badly his childhood affected him, or I never took into consideration of it was so much that happened in a relationship. I don't think I always put him first, which I'm not going to sit here and feel bad for because my siblings, they come first no matter what.
Of course.
But what was the question?
No, why'd you allow yourself to
Why did I
get
let
put through
myself?
what you got put through?
I think it's because I was a broken person, and when two broken people are broken, they find bliss in it and they find love within it. Not saying it's wrong, but you can also grow together, and don't let that be your foundation in a relationship. And yeah, I think I just hated myself and I didn't love myself enough. But at the same time, the relationship wasn't as bad. There were some really good times in the relationship, and it was always those good times that just was like, we can work through it. And then another thing is I can feel he can be better than that,
Hmm.
you know. And it became deeper too. It became more than just me wanting to be his significant other. It got to the point where, you know what, I don't even care what happened between us, but you are someone that I do want in my life forever. And I want to see you be great, and I know you can be great. I can feel it,
Hmm.
but you just need that push. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to be the person to push him. I didn't want no praise or nothing like that, but I want to see you be great because I know you can.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but I can help you see it. But that's if you allow it, you know.
Yeah. That's why it's very important to be whole before you get into a relationship. Uh,
Yes, I strongly agree with that.
yeah. As you were saying, you both were broken, and when two things are broken, you start putting pieces that don't fit with each other and try to become whole as one. Um, and as you know, things that don't fit eventually will break.
Mhm.
So I mean, that's why I feel like a lot of relationships fail, just because people tend to do that. They find comfort instead of being alone for a
Yes.
while, accepting that fact.
Comfort was number one because I realized today that I used him, but I didn't use him. I felt like I needed him.
Hmm.
And so because I felt like I needed this man, I allowed myself to go through because he was, even though he did something that I didn't like, he did some things I loved, but he was also my safe place because he was the only one that listened to me. You know how women are about not being listened to, or at least me, because I just feel like all my life I've never been listened to. It's like people want to wait until something happens to want to finally listen.
Yeah.
And it's not that it bothers me to an extent because you do have some people have to learn the hard way. You can
Well,
tell someone, but they don't mean they have to follow your advice or listen to you. They have to learn the hard way. But what the stuff I was talking about or needing people to listen to me on was when it involved my siblings. And he was the
mhm.
only one that listened to me. Or what I needed in life, like a break or something like that. Like I was doing a lot of stuff on my own. And my family did help, but they only helped to an extent, you know.
So was that having your siblings or dealing with your siblings, was that the reason you were feeling broken before you got into this relationship, or was there different insecurities that you had?
I think so. At the time, during I was a very confident woman. I thought I was beautiful. I thought you couldn't tell me
I mean,
nothing.
you're a
Okay.
pretty woman, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I don't know. I truly believe after my mom went through her thing and me started taking care of my siblings, everything just changed.
Right.
Like that there was just I know what's going on. My relationship that was going great is now plumbing down because of this situation. And there was just so much, but I was trying my hardest to make everything work
Right.
because I'm a determined woman. I don't try to give up easily. But 4 years now, I feel like I'm in a lot better place with my siblings, and with life. I'm still trying to grow and learn who I am, but so far I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, you
loving
were
it.
saying earlier that you really don't set goals for yourself because different things change. A lot of stuff happens that could, alter what you're going through.
Hmm.
But is there an end point to your growth? Not saying like we still don't grow every day, but like, is there a certain point in your life that you're like, okay, I feel like I have mastered everything, so I could be like one with myself. Nobody could tell me different. I could be an independent woman, but yet be a loving wife, a loving girlfriend. So, where do you see yourself in this game of life? Not career wise, not just
Hmm.
Janisha at whatever age.
Honestly, I just see myself having a relationship I've always wanted with God
Mm,
and just trying to do His work. And that's honestly my real main goal is just to have a relationship with Him and try to live out my purpose through Him. Just because the church I go to, I feel like my church is really. I know you went to my church. The last
oh
time
yeah,
the
I'm
first
about to
time you
say.
went, I don't know how I feel because I wasn't feeling the sermon as much either because I was kind of lost. But I mean, I have to probably go back and watch it. But
Hmm.
I love the church. I feel like my pastor is a real deal. Like she is the true definition of a real God woman.
Good.
Of course, I don't think she makes mistakes, but she still is human.
All right.
But she is my inspiration of wanting to have a relationship with him because
That's
I've
beautiful.
seen how much because she one thing she does whenever she is preaching, she always gives us examples of her life.
Right.
Even if she because she just she keeps it up front with us as she always says, she keeping it real, she don't lie in the house of the Lord and stuff. So seeing her and seeing my aunt and my grandma, it's like I want what they have because I feel like what they have is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I also like the whole eternal life. Like
That seems
I
dope.
don't even
I'm
think
very terrified to go to
I
heaven.
don't. I am
I'm
too.
just
But
like, if this is a real thing, I am just
listen.
terrified.
Have you ever heard of Satanists deny God's existence?
Hmm.
You heard of Satanists deny God's existence? I've never heard of Satanists say God ain't
If
real.
if they want to persuade you to believe in,
But they don't do.
Nothing.
They believe. From my understanding, when I looked up the Satanists,
And I'm sorry, I'm still high, so that question,
oh my
I was
Jesus.
like, it
So
scared me because I heard Satanist. I was like, I don't know. It's not in this house.
no, okay, no,
Man,
but okay. So what was it? What was it? Crap it. Um.
something
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
I'm scared to go to hell too.
Yeah,
And
that's what it
listen,
was.
I know social media, and I was at one point as well with social media. You know, sure, if I'm going to hell, I'm about to be partying with everybody else too. Hey, but I read Revelations. I actually read the entire thing,
Mm,
and I was like, no.
right.
The stuff I read, I was like, no. And I know a lot of people think the Bible is like whitewashed, but I personally don't think it is, just because white people try to take out a lot of stuff.
They
And
they
if
they they tell you who the real people are in there. They just don't think you're gonna believe it. Like,
exactly. And it's like if we are aware that they were using this to enslave us, I feel like it would just be common sense for a lot of people when it comes to God and the Bible to erase everything. Like I always recommend everything you was taught, ignore, because though the people who were teaching you wasn't really teaching you correctly, because it has you not caring for God. It has you saying if God is this and that, why it's I've been there, I've done that. So just from experience, I can say,
mhm.
or I would just highly recommend just reading your Bible yourself
Yeah, figure it out.
and try your don't go into the Bible thinking negative, because you're not going to get nothing out of it. You have to change your way of thinking towards it, and you have to be willing to actually want to understand. I feel like at that point you need to try to allow yourself to believe what you're reading, because I see what is being done to the world versus what's going on in the Bible. I can see it tying together,
Mhm.
and it's just I don't want to go to hell. Like that's it. And the whole another thing is I love the whole spiritual world because of how, because I don't know much about it. That's why I'm probably intrigued by it, because from what I understand, it's a very different it's a different realm. And it's like we keep saying we're dying, and I've accepted in my head I don't think you're dying. Like I don't even believe in death no more. Like I truly don't think no one dies. It's like, yes, you're not here physically, but I know you're somewhere around here,
Yeah.
because there's another world that we have to enter into. And me just knowing that there's a spiritual world and all this other stuff is like,
Because is it weird for it
I
not to
wanna,
be? Like,
yeah.
but because like for me, it's kind of hard to think like there's no way this is an accident. Like we can't just out of like the Big Bang have humans and then be this successful and then die and nothing happen. Like, is that weird
That
to
is weird.
think about?
And I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I don't like the whole. I'm just living just to die and that's it.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Reincarnation sounds cool, but I don't want to be reincarnated to fly, because people hate flies and I might die. Like I'm not gonna. I don't want to
Girl, do
recreate
you
it.
really think you're gonna be another fly?
Listen, reincarnation, you could be reincarnated to anything.
Really?
And I wouldn't mind being reincarnated to a human being. I'd rather be another human, but it's like I love the family I'm in.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
what I was
don't
thinking. Was
know.
like, if you believe in reincarnation, why do you care about these people now?
Exactly.
Like,
I mean I don't, but I mean it's a
you
cool,
don't care about people?
huh? I mean no. I do care about people, but it just I don't know if reincarnation is real. Just because I've seen, you know how people have a lot of lookalikes?
Hmm.
I'm not sure if that's reincarnation
Right.
or whatnot. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and it's not really my business to worry about it. You know,
Mhm.
like I just go what I feel is true, feel is comfortable, not comfortable, like I feel like my soul wants,
Mhm.
and I just go with it. If it's not, then that's fine. But if
Mm.
it is, then that's dope.
See, because I know my soul is not right, I don't try to follow it.
Right.
I'm a person who backs over feelings. I might seem hurtful, but in the day, I don't care about how you feel. It's the fact. You can't change facts.
Yeah.
Simple. Sorry.
You're pretty cool.
Gotta.
You're pretty cool. I
But
should have stayed in that class.
wait, what class?
Remember we had the psychology together. We sat really like next to each other
That's I don't have a psychology with you at
for
all.
like a couple weeks.
You know, it's crazy. I don't even remember taking psychology no
Really,
more. But
Miss Lindstrom, I
it's
believe it
weird
was.
because yeah, I'm friends on Facebook, and I actually loved psychology. That's my favorite subject to
She
talk
was just
about.
having me doing too much. She was like, read these chapters, do this. I'm just
Oh,
like,
listen, we if we were talking more out, we could have you could have made it through. Like I feel like you would have enjoyed it too.
really?
I think another reason why I enjoyed it is because my mom. You know what's crazy? Around the same time I was learning about mental illnesses, my mom, I found out she was a bipolar schizophrenic, and she was having an
Mm,
episode while we was learning about it. So I was trying to figure out what was going on with her, and a lot of stuff unleashed, and that there was a start of everything that happened afterwards. So
yeah. I feel like that's why a lot of people, take certain things like that because secretly either they're going through something or someone they know is going through
hmm
something. So, I mean, it was good that you took the initiative to try to figure out what's wrong. Some people
hmm
would like disown, parents who are like, oh, they're acting crazy. I don't want to deal with that.
see, I don't get the whole parents, but like you don't have to support everything your child do, but that don't mean you stop loving them. You know.
Yeah, that's weird because like the experiences that I have with Elijah, I couldn't imagine him growing up, and then I'd be like, well, you do this, so I don't fuck with you, and then having all that memory of the laughter and it. Yeah,
It's just I don't like parents need to understand that we do live our own lives, but at the same time, us as a generation, our generation, we need to stop forcing our parents to always support everything we do if it goes against their morals.
right,
Because now we're disrespecting their morals. Like there's a way a lot of us can disagree with things and still have full respect for each other and still love for each other. It's not
right,
you don't have to hate someone or disown someone because of the decisions they make because you're not the one that have to deal with those decisions. That person do. You can just pray for them or still love them from a distance or whatever. Don't speak negative on what they want your support and just I don't know. I don't want to say turn a blind eye, but like you don't have to be rude to them.
yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah. Well, I have another podcast. I talk about a lot of things that are relatable in life, but on my other podcast, um, I talk about these two people that I know, and they're mother and daughter, but
hmm
they're seeing differently. Like they're not seeing eye to eye. And now that I'm a father and like a son, I can see both perspectives of what they're going through, and I'm just like, that's really tough because as a parent, it's hard seeing your child cry, seeing him struggle, seeing him this, and this. But as a child or as someone's child, I don't want my mom to always like I want to be more independent. I want to make mistakes. So it's really hard, until you get to that level of life to figure out like
You know what's crazy?
what's
Do you ever based off of all the stuff I learned from my family in my teenage years
hmm
and a little bit of my adult years, I can see that they as an adult now looking from and I'm a parent but I'm not a parent. You know, I take care of my siblings, so I feel like I'm their parent in a way.
right.
Um and I can see why the adults did what they did because coming from my end, I don't like when kids do what like kids being adults business. Like there's nothing wrong with explaining stuff to your children because children are not stupid. This I know he's young, he won't understand. Most of these kids will understand, especially when they start turning 8 or 10. They will understand exactly what's going on. I know I did.
Yeah.
My little sister's 12 and she's a prime example as well. But what was it? What was I saying? Oh, Julian,
No,
oh,
no, it's
message
fine.
that.
It's fine. We'll figure it out. So I was saying things, and then you were saying some things, and these things were
Oh my goodness. I
seeing parents'
forgot.
point of view.
Oh yeah.
Out the
I can
gate,
see
high
why
five.
my aunts would tell kids stay in the kids' place or not to talk while adults are talking because that's annoying. It is
hmm
frustrating sometimes because we can be talking about some serious stuff and then here comes this child just mom, mom, mom,
Yeah.
mom, 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 or start doing a fit or whatever. It's like
You
uh,
could be a great
no.
mom, just by the uhs alone.
Listen, let me tell you something. You know how many times I threaten my kids to whoop them and I never do? All right, though, let me. I
No,
am.
that's what it actually is. You have to threaten these little.
Like like they know if they get a whooping from me, they must have done something that just had me.
Mm-hmm.
It was now your behavior was just plain. You're not retarded, but your behavior was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like your behavior. So another thing, you gotta be careful how you talk to kids too.
Oh, of
And
course,
I
yeah.
definitely started watching how I talk to my little ones, and I make sure I try to say stuff to where I'm not degrading them or making them feel bad. But it's like, you know, you are not the problem, but it's your behavior because you know better.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I believe in the whole gentle parenting after 3 times. You got 2 times. I'll talk to you twice. After that,
Yeah.
no, you ain't getting talked to. And personally, I don't even feel like I need to. You only talk to me. Personally, I feel like I only need to talk to you 1 time before you do what I tell you to do. Before I get a, I'm trying to talk to you twice.
I
You
feel you.
are, how old are you? 8 years old and up. You only get one shot. That's it. You know better.
One shot. That's
Uh-uh.
hilarious. No, I mean I know that way too well. Growing up, we was always called different names, and I just see how it affected me,
Mm-hmm.
especially me, because shit,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my brothers are way handsomer than I am.
You
So,
y'all all are good looking. You really
right,
are.
but I don't know. It's just how I felt and kind of feel because, man, that man's handsome.
You are too.
Well, I appreciate it, but no, it's just I was never told I was good looking. I never was told that you
Mm-hmm.
know I don't know that I'm the prize. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom always told me, "Oh, you're handsome. You're my boy." Blah blah blah. But like I feel like having a father tell you that, like, hey, you know, you're a man. You're handsome. You're this and this.
See.
Yeah, that's why I try to tell my son all the time, like he's handsome, or I try to like
Yes.
be his biggest supporter.
And you are doing
So
great.
thank you.
I will highly recommend when he gets a little older, what I start doing with my 5-year-old, um, put him in front of a mirror, make him look at himself and tell himself through the mirror.
Yeah.
Like I truly feel like talking to yourself through the mirror is just the best therapy for yourself because sometimes you have your own self messed up and you need to remind yourself who you are
See,
and get back on it.
we need to hang out more because that's exactly what I said in another podcast. Well,
Listen,
yeah. So I don't know if you saw the one like defeating yourself. I don't know if you saw that
no, I
podcast.
haven't. I promise. Listen, the next time we
It's okay.
talk, I
It's
will
fine.
have everything.
Good. Well, I say in there that I was at the gym before the
Mhm.
guy who I was working out with came, and I used to hate looking myself in the mirror, and not because of my appearance. It's because when I looked at myself, it felt foreign. Like I felt like there was like a demon looking back. Feel me? And I
Mhm.
didn't recognize who I was looking at. So I pulled down the mirror and I was telling myself, I forgive you for what you allow people to do to you. I forgive you for what you have done to people. And I said that until I forgave myself. And now I just look at myself and I feel like me again.
See, I feel like in a way that was your type of prayer,
Yeah.
but you just didn't use God, which is fine. I'm not trying to say anything, but that I see what you're saying.
I
I
don't
do
know. Me
that
and
same.
them
I
have
do that.
talked
I
over
do that
time.
too. I do that too. But that to me was just another. That was great. It
Yeah.
was just great.
I always feel like when I talk to God, I feel like it's disrespectful for me to like, oh God, make me this, make me that, before I give him praise for, thank you for my son, thank you for this job that I want to go to, even though I don't want to
See,
go, thank you for that, and then I'd be like, well, can you help me do this and that? Because I don't want to take it for granted. You feel me?
yeah. I
Like Job.
listen.
Job did it.
Who?
Job,
What's your?
the guy in the Bible, he lost his
Oh, see,
family
listen. I haven't read
and
my Bible
everything.
yet. Is he the? No.
He's the one who had. So
Was he the one whose wife was gone when they came back from a year after the Lord? And that was David. That was David.
No, Job was the man who was one of the most faithful people at the time. And then Satan went to God and said, "Hey, I bet if you took his things away from him, he would disown you." And he said, "All right, you can do whatever you want, just don't kill him." And this man had diseases, all his family died, he was poor, and he still gave God the praise. And then through that, he blessed him twice as much. You know, So I feel
Hmm.
like that's how I should live my life. You know,
See,
we
so the
should do Bible
whole,
study.
hey, listen, I'm fasting now. Don't
Oh
listen.
yeah, never mind.
No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no,
you
no.
said
That's not
that
what I meant.
because I need some.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant by, hey, I'm always with it,
Good.
okay? Because I'm 2 days strong
Oh,
still,
congratulations.
and thank
I
you.
would have to bite my son. I don't
Um,
know.
no. So with fasting, so don't think it's something that changed with your eating. Like I
Hmm.
haven't changed my eating much, but I just got rid of sweets. So I just drink water, and I don't really eat no more, honestly. And it's not me trying to starve myself. It's just I'm never hungry,
Or just don't know what to
and
eat.
when I'm do hungry, I don't know what to eat, and because I don't know what to eat, I'm not gonna eat. I'm not hungry,
If it
and I
wasn't for my son's mom, I probably wouldn't.
see. I can't force myself to eat,
Yeah.
but I know forcing yourself to eat will actually make you start gaining an appetite.
Mm.
But um, so what I just got rid of social media.
I was thinking about that, but I'm just like, damn, I gotta promote
I got rid of
myself.
weed. Um, so I'm not smoking. And this time I'm actually adding prayer. I watch a sermon every morning from my
Good.
church. I would highly recommend it. I am going to start moving on to Pastor Michael Todd after I'm done with my church.
Who's that?
Michael Todd? I'm surprised you know about him. But he's the guy who's the pastor for Transformation Church. He's went global. Have you ever seen any posts or videos about a pastor spitting in someone's face or whatever? No. Okay. I
Is
don't
that
I don't I
is
don't
that
mean
him?
I don't mean to spread negative light on him because his intent behind it had a good reasoning. He just had a disgusting analogy behind it. The analogy was nasty, but the meaning behind it was really great.
Do you remember it? Because I really want to hear it.
I didn't see the video. I didn't even dare, but I
Oh, he
was
actually spit on someone?
it was his brother. It was like he just spit on his hand and kind of just slapped it on his face. I'm not sure what the service was and the sermon was he was talking about, but I know when you in the spirit of God, you just go on with the flow and you don't think.
I
But
feel you.
his analogy was nasty, but the meaning was behind it was great.
Feel you. I don't know. That's so. I grew up in a church to where like no one caught the Holy Ghost type shit, right?
I caught it.
And that I don't know what that is. Like
So
I'm just
okay.
like I don't know, man.
So okay. So we mean they caught the Holy Ghost, where you just like fall down to the ground
Or
and stuff like
I
that.
don't know. I don't know. But because me going to your church, I feel like was the first time I witnessed something like that.
Oh, you been someone fall around, fall to the
I don't
ground.
think fall dramatically, but they were on the ground.
Okay. So,
I don't know about
no,
it.
it's okay. I can honestly, I will speak on it. I've caught it for the first time.
Really?
I think it was this year. It was like last month actually, because I was just tired of living the life I was living. I was determined this year. I was so determined to be financially stable. I'm sick of struggling financially. I'm sick of struggling mentally. I'm sick of not living the life I know I should live. And so it was like, I finally, I guess, accordingly, I finally allowed myself to give myself to God.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the time, I was just as clueless as everyone else. I figured that people would meet up with the pastor, would speak on things, and then the pastor, and then it would just, that's how I thought that worked.
Uh-huh.
But no, it's like if you have a really great pastor or church, my apologies, your friends calling. But when you have, surprising, but when you
Don't be doing
have,
my man's.
when you have a great church, I feel like, or if you have a genuine pastor, like my pastor, I feel like she can bring that out in anyone, and I mean that. Like she, my cousin called it the 2 punch combo. One hit, boom, everybody down, and it's like she don't really hit you. She's just wanting you to release and give yourself to him. And so I was scared 'cause I'm like, what? I don't know what's about to happen. Like, I don't
Right.
know, but it was something I knew I was ready for. At first, I was fighting it because I went up there for prayer. Because you know how if you need some prayer, come up there because that's when they be getting you. And usually they do it when they know the service is good, and you can feel God's presence. And I felt His presence the entire service. Do
Mm-hmm.
you know what His presence feel like, or do you think you've been in His presence before?
I believe so.
Like for me, whenever I'm in His presence, I get just this big old I get
Chills.
chills. I just get really cold.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good cold. Like it makes me happy, But when she came to me, so here's how mine went. The service, I forgot what the service was about, but it was something I really needed. And I went up there. I was up there, I watching her pray for others. Here I am. I'm already crying because it's like it was such a good service. It felt like she was speaking directly to me.
Mm-hmm.
And this those
Those were the
services that
ones,
get
man.
you.
Yeah.
And she has those services almost every Sunday. And then there's some Sundays where she's just healing people. It's like she'll say amen and start praising. She'll before she even get her service, whatever she said before, she starts feeling it, and then she just lets God take over whatever she does. But I went up there a little bit, blah, blah, blah. I thought I was fine. Like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready because I'm about to be sitting again tonight. I'm not going to sit here and do this and waste my time. I'm not going to lie. I was up there fighting myself because I knew for a fact I was about to go home and do something, and I didn't want to do this. No, I'm about to do this because I don't want to be that type of hypocrite who say one thing and do another. I hate that so much. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to my seat. I went back to my seat. And then here I go, walk up there again. This time I didn't even know I was walking up there. I just went up there, and then she seen me. She like, come here. And I'm like, and I can see myself backing away from her. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready. I'm scared because I don't want to keep doing the same stuff again.
Right.
And I just finally let her give in. It was just like she started praying, and out of nowhere, I just fell. Like I just fell,
Yes.
and I felt so loved. Like I felt like I was just being like I fell on the ground. No one was touching me, but I felt I can see myself. When I fell, I see myself visually running into the arms of someone really tall, and it was just tall. It was just a big old white robe,
Mm-hmm.
and I just felt arms wrapped around me, and I was just crying. And it felt so relief. It felt like release.
Yeah.
It felt amazing. And that's a feeling I definitely want to feel again. I'm not sure when I'm gonna feel it. I want to feel it again,
Mm-hmm.
but I can say it's a great feeling. You just have to be ready to really give yourself
Yeah.
for it, and just be prepared for it and allow yourself to give it all of your problems to him.
I might just have to already be sitting because if I fall, this is gonna be very,
Don't worry,
very
they
painful.
have a lot of people, because that Sunday everybody was falling different ways. Like for me, it was like I fell down to my knees as like I was bowing to him, as if I
Mm.
was surrendering and asking for forgiveness type of things. You had some women that were, and it was just all no, there was some men that you had someone they will she'll just start praying for them, they just go back. You have another
Damn.
one, she'll start praying for them, they might just go forward, and then you pray for another one and they just drop and just sit.
Yeah, I think for like safety standards, everyone should just remain sitting.
No, the thing is we actually have people, they have people, like a lot of people behind you
Mm-hmm.
waiting for that to happen so they can help you so you don't hurt yourself,
Yeah.
and then they just cover you up with a blanket because now you're in the presence of God and you need your alone time with him.
Yeah.
So
That's wonderful.
but yeah, it was great. And that I feel like that encouraged me to finally actually start fasting and getting right with him.
So, what have you learned, if anything, from fasting?
So
Have you
I've been
been?
teaching myself how to pray a lot
Mm,
better.
okay,
So
that
that's
was
what I was
not
trying to tell
enough.
you. Because I know how to pray, but I don't know how to pray. Like I feel like there's more to prayer than what they say. Just pray, just pray. I know to just pray, but like how exactly do I do it?
Yeah.
So what I've been doing, by the way, I'm writing a prayer down for you tonight, and I'm gonna say it because I have for all my loved ones, the people I genuinely care for, friends and family, I'm personally writing my own prayer just for that individual, especially if I know if they're going through things. I just write specifically what Lord can help them with, and some stuff. And usually how I start off my prayers, I just start off with like, "Dear Heavenly Father," and stuff like that. Because I was once taught that if you say God, well, no, I read that the God we worship or we say is really Satan because Satan is the God of the world or whatever. But I debunked all that because I've been reading my Bible for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and God is the God of this world.
Right.
But I'm saying,
No, I just want to understand.
I'm sorry.
No.
It's really hard. So far it's been easy because I've been consistent, but you know, I'm still scared because I'm not sure if I'm fully ready to get rid of my fleshly desires. Because I don't want to play about God and
Yeah.
sit here and do this and then keep doing the same stuff,
Yeah, he says I'd rather you not believe in me than believe in me and do
Yeah,
wrong on
you can't
purpose.
tiptoe. You gotta be one or the other. You can't do both,
Yeah.
sadly.
No, let's get together and like once a week or whatever and talk
Hey,
about it.
listen, I'm down. Shoot, because I'm learning a lot and I'm happy because I'm allowing myself to learn from my own terms. Like I said, I highly recommend people don't even put religion in there. Forget about being a Christian, forget about being Baptist, Catholic. Just try to have a relationship with you and God because at the end of the day, that's all it is. Religion don't mean nothing if you have a relationship with God
Yeah, that's
because you
why.
know him.
Yeah, that's how I started living my life. Like,
Mhm.
uh, I don't know, like, uh, so I don't believe cussing is like a bad thing,
Mhm.
just because like words. So in the Bible it says don't like. Oh, it says something about like don't
Tongue is
speak.
sharp.
Yeah, yeah, but like I don't feel like there should be bad word like words are words to communicate. I don't feel like there should be words that mean something. I don't know.
But you were on. I feel you on that. I completely was like that. I can't say I am because I've been working on my cursing. But actually, my pastors now see everything that we have questions on and we think about. My church literally do not mind telling you about it. Like they're not gonna condemn you from doing it, but they're gonna be like, I know this is what we're doing, but we're not supposed to. Even I get myself caught up in there. Like
Hmm.
that's how real she is. But from what I understand, they say, we speak, our tongue is so powerful, we can speak life and death, which is why we should be careful because we don't, if words are just words, then there's no need for us to pray. Because if words are just words, we shouldn't be careful with what we say then if that makes
No,
sense.
no, no. I understand.
But,
I understand. You're supposed to be sincere and you're supposed to like speak
so,
positively, but like
yes.
I want to say fuck it. Like
I mean, see, yeah,
fuck it.
see, stuff like that, I can't see how it is
Right.
bad,
That's just like what
but
what is the difference between fuck it and forget it? Like they mean the same thing. You just want this word to mean something.
like I don't understand the cursing part.
Fuck.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Just because they say damn and ass too. So I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
But I just know how I I didn't realize how strong our tongue was. So I'll definitely try to speak nothing but positivity to people. I'm not sure if it works, but I know when I start speaking positivity into my life and I start enforcing that positivity, I start to believe it. And you start to, what they said was the stuff you start to speak, you start to believe.
Mm,
And the stuff that you believe are false thoughts that you're putting inside your head that are not of God.
yeah.
And anything that is of confusion or not understanding is not of Him as well. But you know that. I think you know your Bible more than me.
I know. I
I
know
know
a
for
little
a
bit of
fact you know
something.
more than me
I know a little
because
bit of
I'm still learning my Bible. I'm still stuck on
something.
Leviticus because
Yeah.
I just haven't got past. But
Yeah. It said people say God's tempting me. He doesn't tempt.
no, He
That's not
doesn't.
like he's not
And
confused. He is not a confusing God. He's not a tempting God. He
He's
stays the same, but
all
he
the
does.
same.
Yeah.
hmm And I think another thing that started me on this relationship journey with God is because of the sermons that they will have on Sundays. Um, because they even speak on how a lot of us say we believe in God, but at the same time we always still question Him and doubt it. They speak on that and have said that if you're gonna believe, just believe. I mean, but they agree that they do it sometimes too, but that's something we just need to keep praying on and working on.
Right. But it's hard. So
hmm
so it's easier. It's easier and well actually no, I don't want to say it's easier. So I'm reading or I have an audio Bible
hmm
and it's really good. It's like a whole black cast. There's different people for different parts. It's really
hmm
good. But anyway, they are in the wilderness right now, and every time God gives them either manna or He gives them water, He gives them this, this, and this. Eventually, they will stop doubt. Like they'll doubt Him.
Are you talking
And
about Genesis? Because I read all of Genesis,
no,
and that
not
sounds so
Genesis.
much
I
like
think
that.
it's Leviticus.
Exodus.
No, Exodus is when they leave, and I think
It's when he.
Leviticus is the laws because they're going through.
It was Leviticus.
Yeah,
It was.
because
Because
Leviticus, I want to skip that one.
But you confused on the whole garment and wearing stuff. I was like,
unclean,
why do I
clean.
have
I'm
to
just
know
like,
these things? I would just get like, God, can I skip this? Like, I don't really care for this.
but
I skipped. I don't care about
yeah,
what they word. I'm
but
like,
see,
why?
and that's why, Jesus is such a big thing in our faith because
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have that
Like they had to
privilege.
do a
They were like,
lot.
"Hey, we don't believe God's real." God's like, "Oh, really? It's just
Yeah.
gone,
Did you
gone."
listen? I noticed that too, and I'm not gonna lie. Reading the Bible from the beginning, it did make me angry. And I wasn't angry at him. I'm like, why are people just listen? And you know what's crazy? It's like it made me reading Genesis for myself. Made me realize that no matter what people see, they are still going to believe the lie,
Yeah,
or they still do not want to believe. Like,
but you also gotta understand they didn't have the Holy Spirit at that
yes,
time,
yes,
so it's really tough. Like
mm-hmm.
Sodom and Gomorrah was just there was no. I think it was Abraham who was like, "If there's one good person in there, will you save him?" He's like, "Yeah, if there's one." And
Yeah.
as you can see, but I was like, who
Listen,
raised them when they went to Lot's house and was like, hey, we saw those men in there, bring them out so we can have sex with them. I was like, who?
hold on. What?
Ra-?
What did I miss?
So
Did I not? Did I not read something?
okay, so Abraham took in Lot. I think it was his brother's son or his sister's son.
Yeah.
But then their herds and all their servants and everything got too big.
Oh yeah,
So
they
he
had to
was
say.
like, go over there, I'll go over here. And
Yeah.
then God went to Abraham and was like, hey, you might want to go get Lot because I'm about to destroy this whole place. And so I believe Jesus was in the Old Testament too. So anyway, the two angels went before Abraham and the other angel or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he was saying, "Lord, blah blah blah," like talking to him as if he was talking to God. And there was three people. Two of them left. The one of them stayed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so when the angels got there, Lot was like, "Hey, come in here. Don't go nowhere
Oh,
else."
isn't Lot the one who wife froze and turned to stone?
Yeah,
I mean, not frozen turned to stone, but okay, I know exactly
yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, but they went in there, and then the men and everybody was so wicked, they were like, bring
So
them
was
out.
they really? So he really killed the city just because of? I thought it was just wickedness.
Yeah, it
But
was.
I thought it was like every type of sin, not just.
Yeah, it was every time. But it was
Okay.
just for them saying that. I'm just like, what are y'all doing out here? They're like, either you going to bring them out or we coming in. Like,
I think what probably made me angry is the fact that the when was it the Egyptians had the Romans enslaved?
no.
I mean, not the
The,
Romans, Israelites.
mhm,
And he had, was it Moses?
mhm.
Moses had to come and rescue the people, and he had someone else with him. I think I forgot his name.
Aaron, his
Aaron.
brother.
Okay, so he had someone with him, and they'll tell the Egyptians what God said. God would do it. Egyptians, okay, stop it, and we'll do it. And it's like this happened for days,
Hmm.
and y'all still just didn't believe.
Well, not necessarily.
But then again, God hardened their hearts.
On purpose, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, and that's what people don't understand. Like they want to put themselves on God's level. And it's like, wow, he killed all these people. He did X, Y, and Z. But it's like he said, I'm doing this so my name will be glorified. The sins of these people may not carry on to these other people who will believe in me and who will have the same.
See, I probably must have missed that part because now that makes
Yeah, he was like, I'm
sense.
doing this, and especially like the Egyptians followed them all the way to the Red Sea, and they were seeing the water go up. They
Yeah,
were
it's like,
seeing the flame. They were seeing the
oh, I
cloud.
don't feel bad with what happened to them because why y'all followed them? You say you're gonna
Right,
let them
right, and that's
free.
the, and that's the
That's your
thing. It's
fault.
like we read that now, and it's like we can be led by anger, and we can be led by, you know, um,
Pride.
yeah, pride because Pharaoh was upset that he allowed this man to take all his slaves. So we can be
Mm-hmm.
blinded by that and enrage, and it leads to our own destruction. And there's like a lot of symbolism and like things that we also go through now. That
I think it just all ties in with the fact that everyone, from my understanding as kids growing up, a lot of us was not really taught properly of God because the people who were teaching us were probably taught from the white man or from someone else who was using the Bible for
game,
wrong things.
yeah,
And you can't always believe every pastor. I don't care how long your great grandmama been going to this church. I mean, this pastor in this church is full of Christ. If I'm trying to sound like rude or nothing like that, but and I feel like a lot of people try to live through other people's belief in God instead of their own, and that's where it messes up with a lot of people because you keep trying to live or use God from what you were taught from other people and stuff, trying to find your own relationship with Him.
Have you seen the Book of Eli?
Mm-mm.
No, it's with Denzel Washington,
I
and
I know, but of
yeah,
it.
and the guy, one of the guys who wanted the Bible, he said this is the easiest way to control people, is to have this
Hmm.
Bible, because no one, once you start getting into people's hearts, you don't need fear anymore. I feel like faith or like that type of stuff.
And you know what's crazy? I can so see it, but I don't see it in a negative way. And I think it's because my perspective, every day, my perspective on God and the Bible is constantly changing. But I think what he mean by that is because if you really knew how powerful we are, you can't let the Bible scare you, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But for those who are unaware of the Bible, it can scare them because you have people who read some parts of the Bible. You don't do this, you're going to hell. You don't do this, God's going to do this to you. And 9 times out of 10, they don't even know God because God won't be having you condemn these people. God told you to turn from the wicked with love. You're supposed to love,
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why I'm so big on love because I feel like I truly believe love conquer everything.
Yeah, and there is, especially in the Bible, when they were going to stone the prostitute, uh, they wanted to trick Jesus because technically it was the law to stone prostitutes or whatever. And
Well,
yeah,
and you
something
know
of
what?
that. And then they wanted to see if he would uphold the law and do this. So he was like, well, yeah, that's the law. But if any of you have not sinned, go ahead and throw it. And that right there, he told these people like, yes, I have this law, but again, you are not the enforcers of this law. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to follow it to to the best of your ability or to what I say is right. But
You,
at the end of the day,
mhm.
we are all worthy of being stoned.
Yes,
I feel
yes.
like that's what he was trying to get to them, and she ended up surviving and some more stuff. But
Because people, it's just ignorance,
yeah,
but of people. But I listen. It's such a controversial topic. I'm willing to talk with any and everybody, but it's kind of hard for I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but
no, I mean, I know my son, I would teach him that God loves him. I teach him everything like that.
hmm
But he will definitely read it and feel it himself.
hmm
Especially, so I believe black people are the people in the Bible,
I do.
and
I completely agree.
I want him to feel like he is more than just a nigga or more than
More than just a
a
typical black
slave or more,
man.
yeah,
Hmm.
having that sense of pride or a sense of like
And
royalty
you
type
know what's
thing.
crazy? Because I feel like a lot of people, black people who are bashing the Bible, are also the ones who believe we are the chosen one. But it's like, where did you get that from? You got it from the Bible.
Yeah.
You didn't get that from no one else or from witches or anything like that. Not, trying to say nothing about them, but a lot of stuff that you thinking that we're the chosen ones or from or whatever, everything comes from within the Bible, some way, somehow,
Hmm.
And I know one thing I try to teach my little ones is that, I mean, God don't want the world to be this way, but people need to understand God, yes, he is God and he can do all things, but he is also someone who lets you make your choices.
Right.
And you can't get mad at him for other people's choices because he's telling us, he's speaking to us, he's always there. That's what he says. It's in his word. But we just don't acknowledge it. And we
Yeah.
want to do what we want to do. We like the God we see in the Bible. And this is what I was just taught. And I know I do it too. I created my own type of God. Like, God, I believe in you, but there's some things I want to do. And because of you, I can do it. It's okay.
Hmm.
When it's like, no, it's not okay. But I feel like a lot of us fail to realize that we are given our own choices pretty much. and we can't control other people's actions, and people are aware of that, but mm, there's a lot.
No, I understand. So, with everything that we've talked about, if there was one thing that you could tell either your past self or anyone in general that needs or wants to grow as a person, want to live a better life because the life that they're living,
Hmm.
um, they don't feel like they want to stay there forever. They know that they can be better. So, what would you say to them?
So, first off, I would start off by telling you guys to take a deep breath first. Look at yourself in the mirror, or don't even look at yourself in the mirror. Analyze your entire situation, everything you've been through. Just sit down and analyze it, and don't just analyze other people's problems. Analyze your own problems and what you've done, what you could have done better. And once you okay, so first thing to do is acknowledge your faults. After you acknowledge your faults, it's like the grieving process is what I consider growth is. You
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge it, you deny it, and you go into denial and anger, or you still want to play victim, and then after a while you finally just accept it. And now that you accepted it, change it. If you don't like it, if you like it, keep it. If you don't like it, change it. But if you know for a fact that it's something you don't like, change it. So accountability definitely. I would highly recommend forgiving yourself for allowing yourself to go through those things, because at the time you were still growing, you're still learning, and you don't understand what you're going through, just like no one does. You don't know why you allowed yourself to go through that way, but you know you love that person genuinely. And if that was just your reason of going through those things because you truly love that person, it's a good reason. Who am I to sit here and tell you your reasons because that's how you feel? And what I say? See how I feel? Okay, so I said accountability,
Sorry,
forgiving
I was
yourself.
just feeling it too much to even.
Forgive yourself. So after you forgive yourself, what are you gonna do to build your self confidence? Because 9 out of 10, after you went through something, you kind of lose your self confidence because there's a lot that's been said to you within a relationship or within anyone. You've had a lot of negativity thrown out to you before you were ready to start making a change, and you need to remove all the negativity. For women and men, I would highly recommend stripping naked, or after you get out the shower, just go in your room, put on some music, or listen to the Bible. Well, don't do that naked. That's kind of weird. I don't know. Do it. I don't care. I don't know. But the whole point is look at yourself at your in your nature and tell yourself you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you are loved and you're cared for. And that the good person will come for you eventually. But don't worry about that person. Focus on you. So I highly recommend self love as well. That's what I've been doing,
Mhm.
and it's worked for me. I think I'm a lot more. Listen, you can't tell me nothing,
Yeah,
okay? This is simple. With my fupa and all, you can't tell me nothing. But
that's funny.
after you see yourself change, make sure while you're working on yourself and you're changing, make sure you work on how you approach others as well. Like, don't just speak positivity into yourself, speak positivity into your loved ones and people you care for. Stop allowing yourself, be honest with yourself, be honest with others, be kind. I strongly believe in treating people how you want to be treated. And I always treat people with love and respect and kindness. And usually it's reciprocated. And sometimes it's from strangers, which is, I don't mind it being from strangers, but you know, yeah. If you I recommend giving God another chance, not religion, but try to read your own Bible for yourself. It's actually a fun read. I mean, there are some boring parts, but it's a lot of good stories in there, and I
Damn near
truly,
all of Leviticus.
yeah, 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 and I truly believe that a lot of you can truly relate to almost 3 to 4 stories in that Bible, and I wish you the best. Good luck. You can do it, and stop believing negative thoughts you put in yourself. You can do anything you put your mind through to. No, yeah, you can put anything. You can do anything you put your mind to.
Hmm.
I don't know why that sounds weird, but you have to stop discouraging yourself, because 9 times out of 10 you are surrounded by people who are showing you love and care, especially if you're dealing with depression or some mental illness. I'm almost sure you're probably around people who are checking in on you and loving you and supporting you. So you're telling yourself that you aren't good enough or you aren't worthy enough. You need to stop doing that, which is why I recommend looking at yourself naked, finding some either Bible scriptures or phrases you like from your idols, and using them to uplift yourself, because you will start seeing a change. The more you start change your way of thinking, just change
Hmm.
your way of thinking, and you will change everything else afterwards. But
Yeah.
change of thought is the first step.
So you said something very interesting. You said people who are depressed, you may have people that check in on you. Well, what if you don't? You know, how would you? Because I noticed when I told people I was depressed or I told people I was sad, either they told me I shouldn't be because I have a good life, or they didn't really comprehend what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
So for people who don't have anyone to check in on them, you have to check in on yourself. You have to make sure that, because depression, like,
Mm-hmm.
people kill themselves, like
I've,
that's a real thing.
I went, I know a little bit about depression. I know a lot. I still trying to figure out where in my life I was, but I know I was. And for me, I had to deal with a lot of you'll be all right too. And I never had people check up on me, and it would hurt me because the people who I checked up on, I wanted the same. But it got to that right there. That's when I'm like, start surrounding yourself with people who care for you the same way you care for them.
Yeah, but I feel like what's beautiful is, like, Kevin Gates, he said, once you defeat yourself, what comes next is just peace. You know?
Yes, because when I tell you you are your biggest enemy, I truly think that we cause illnesses up on ourselves sometimes just because we keep thinking these things.
Yeah.
I've read or seen so many people who have, I haven't seen people who've committed suicide, but I've seen their loved ones talk so highly of this person. And it's like, this person had all this support, all this love, and they still did it. And I don't understand why they allowed themselves to think these things.
Yeah.
And I don't want to seem terrible about that, because there's people who go through way worse, way worse, and they have people telling them they'll never be great. They're constantly dealing with negative. They don't even have the positivity that that person had,
Right.
but they're still pushing on. And it's just confusing to me, because this person who I feel like probably should have had killed themselves because of those stuff they've been through, they didn't they didn't do nothing. But this person with the support and love did it. It's not adding up
Yeah.
to me. And I think that's just our, once again, it's our way of thinking.
Yeah. It's
And
perspective.
our thinking are is highly persuaded by the music we listen to, the stuff we watch, the stuff we read, and social media is number one, because people are living off of it, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. And with the way technology is moving, they're trying to make it to where there is no human contact, in my
Right.
opinion. It's like,
Especially with this
let's be
6 feet
lazy.
things.
Let's I'm listen. Yes. But I now that I know that, I'm gonna start checking on you from now on.
Oh,
But
okay.
another
No, I
thing is,
haven't. I haven't been. I appreciate it. I would
yeah.
love for you to check on me,
Mhm.
but I haven't been depressed since I started smoking.
Oh
Like
Jesus.
that. I'm dead ass. Like
Hey,
that.
I understand.
That has literally kept me.
Going.
Yeah.
I
Like
understand.
it made me a better person. It made me a better father.
Mhm.
Just because now I have time to
Your mom.
slow down what I'm thinking about, or when I do, like I said earlier, when my grandmother died. Since I don't know how old, I was always afraid that she would die and I wouldn't know how to react. And that was a big thing with my depression. And now it allows me to accept it. I don't know why. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just calms
Hey,
me down, but I'm able to accept it. I'm able to think through it and know that it's going to be okay. You feel me? I don't know.
so I know what you're feeling because my great grandma, she's the one I live with, and I'm honestly not gonna lie, I'm not too much in a rush to moving out just because it's my great grandma. She's
Yeah.
already in her 70s. I want to, even though I'm not home right now because I'm always living my life.
How old your
I
grandma?
she's about to be 79 this
No.
year.
Okay. How old?
My grandma is
Yeah.
56, 57. Like good.
My.
I know you heard him talk about her. I know you heard him talk about
I don't
her.
know. I don't think I've had, but I'm really interested now. Well, my
Mm.
grandmother, I think, will be 64, and
Oh, my mama was fast. She had me at
and
15.
oh really? Okay.
And my dad, you know what's crazy? Guess how old my dad was?
12.
13. Yeah.
Damn it! I wanted to say 13. Damn it!
But yeah,
Let's just say 12, and then you got here when he was 13. Let's just say that.
I did. Because my
Oh,
birthday is
there
2 weeks
you go.
before his, literally. Um, he was 12 when my mom was pregnant. He turned 13 2 weeks after I turned 2 weeks.
It's crazy.
Or, yeah. hmm
Golly.
My mama turned 15, I think, that year too.
And see, that's the
So she was
thing.
14 when she was pregnant.
And that's the thing that we were going, or that you were talking about, like children need to stay in children places.
hmm
And I feel like if, like, why would you know about sex that, or like at 12? Like, yeah, you're starting to go through changes, but it's like, I feel like if you, like, still have that innocence, because a lot
hmm
of children, especially now with social media, they're seeing all these adult women dressing up, you know, how they're dressing up,
They're
or
just
these,
teenagers dressing up
yeah,
grown.
or these men, like,
So, I know, you can keep talking. I can
oh,
see. Yeah.
no, that's fine. I forgot.
You was asking me a question.
Was I?
Yes. You was
Oh my goodness. I'm embarrassed.
you were talking about so you understand something about children staying in children's place and adults and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if there was a question. Probably there was, but I just noticed it in my life and then in my siblings' lives because I was talking to my mom the other day and I'm just like, we we always knew your guys' business. We always knew what the next adult was doing,
Mhm.
and that gave us room to think we're adults. And now we think we're adults and we can comprehend adult things. Now we think we can make adult decisions. And that leads to having sex, or that leads to doing drugs, it
And
leads to.
that is why I will always disagree with parents. "Oh, she's just a kid. I'll let her do whatever." No, she's a kid. You're the parent. You tell her what to do.
Yeah,
You are the one that is supposed to tell your child. You're supposed to teach them the right way. You're not. They're not supposed to do whatever they want to because they're children. They're easily influenced,
yeah,
and they are a child. These are big decisions. They don't even know these type of decisions you want them to make or whatever. Like that's just me though.
yeah.
But so I know what you mean by the whole children thing because I used to eavesdrop. Like I can't get mad at a child from
I used to
eavesdropping
eavesdrop.
on adult situations, but you don't have a right to comment on it. Act like you act if there's nowhere you can go for as a child and there's nowhere we can go as adults because it's probably too cold outside for us to go outside
Mhm.
and there's no toys or something. I'm not sure. I hope there's toys for kids to play with. But
Just boxes
the
and
kids always
toys.
manage to be near adults anytime. But um I used to eavesdrop to a lot as a child. So I can't get mad at my kids for
It's
eavesdropping.
hilarious.
But don't be silly and let me know you're eavesdropping because now you're about to get in trouble. Because
Yeah,
get your butt out here. You know?
it's hilarious.
But I really wish I knew the question you were trying to ask me or what you were trying to say.
Yeah, me too. Dang
Because
it.
because what you had to say, I had something good to go behind it.
Oh,
I know it's talking about kids and sex. There we go. My dad,
oh,
12,
yeah,
6.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so from my understanding, a lot of men were raped at the age of 11. Or
Yeah.
they've got their first piece of thing at the age of 11 or 12. I rebuke that name of Jesus for my brother because he's about to be 11.
See, I was just
And
ugly.
he goes to and no, hush it, you were not. And he goes to a predominantly white school.
Mm.
Oh God, pray for this boy. I mean, he let me know he
And
don't
these
like
white
white
girls
girls.
are fast.
He don't like them. He like black women, which I'm
See?
happy, thank God. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Shout out to the
he about to
melanin.
be in 6th grade. I can't control what these little kids be doing. But
Hmm.
knowing he's a black boy, hey, no. But a lot of men, from my understanding, get sexually introduced at the age of 11 or 12, and sometimes it could be from the it's an adult woman doing it. But when men see
Women
it,
are just weird.
but men see it as, hey, you growing up. But in reality, no, baby, you was right. That wasn't
Yeah.
okay. That's why you got sexual problems now. That's why you're always horny. That's why a lot of people don't realize when you're sexually abused, that can either increase your sexualness or that would decrease it, or it'll make you not ever want to do it. You know. And I met people who all three.
Yeah.
So it's just like, wow. And but when do you think is the great age to teach kids about sex? And for me, well, no,
I mean, I just think puberty.
puberty.
Yeah. I mean, well, actually, I heard that's really early in girls. Because, like, boys, what, 13, 14 type stuff? I think that's because eventually you're going to start getting men desires and
Mhm.
having men things happen to you.
Mhm.
So knowing these things is like, hey, this is why your body's doing this because it's getting ready for you to find a wife. You know, don't just say a girlfriend or have sex. It's getting
Mhm.
ready for you to be a man and start a family. Yeah, it's starting young and it's really hard to like. People are like boys are gonna masturbate. It's gonna it's
Mhm.
but it's like don't make them feel awkward about it or wrong about it because it's like this is new. Like all the feeling is so like you really can't get
Mhm.
that feeling from a lot of other things.
So I would never make him feel bad for doing that. I'm a teach. I don't want to teach him that. I'd rather have another male teach him
That's
that.
why fathers are really important.
Yes, I'm very useful around that age because usually most of the time they just send around, hey, stop all that. The mama's still, doing stuff. Anyway, for me, I feel like now you don't need to teach your children about sex at this age, but they need to know how serious it is by the age of 4 and 5. And the
Mm.
reason why I say that is because by the age of 4 or 5, your child is now in school. Your child is probably now in daycare. Your
Okay,
child
yeah,
should be
that makes
speaking
sense.
full sentences. I need my child to let me know if someone touched her. This here, these are your boobs. I say boobs. I don't say the vulgar words yet, but I'm
Titties,
like these are yes.
titties are not. That's not.
Sometimes I say titties,
Yeah.
and sometimes I say titties, but mostly I try to say boob, and instead of saying vagina, I say this is your lady part. I let him, don't you let no one, and I mean
Mm-hmm.
absolutely not even I can do that. Do you hear me? You better not let no one. If anyone ever touch you, even if they tell you, don't tell no one. You better tell me.
Cause I would beat your ass. Just
You better tell me.
threaten you until you believe me.
Like I feel like it's really important to teach your children their parts and how important they are at a young age and stuff, trying to wait until they're teenagers, because most of the time a lot of parents don't teach their kids at all about that type of stuff, but yet they also let their children go to other people's houses, and it's like you don't know what's going on in that household. You don't know
Right.
what's going on with the kids. You don't know if those kids have been touched by someone and they're doing it to your kid, and that's how that stuff passes on. And I don't want that to
Right.
happen, because I've experienced it a bit in childhood and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but listen, yeah. Of
Well, I'm glad you came over. Gotta
yeah,
do this more often.
course. I did
Uh,
not. I hope this wasn't that long. I hope you can see me because I just got real comfortable.
it's an hour 47.
Oh,
So there you go. You got your hour.
well, you definitely got. What time is it? Damn, it's not. I mean, dang. It's 9:34. My sister called me. Everything.
Man, they
Oh my
probably think
goodness.
you got a kid now.
Oh
But all
no.
right. Well, thank you again. I'll walk you to your
Thank you
car.
for having me. Do a thumb tap. Thumb tap. No,
I
you
mean,
good?
no. Anyway, I just do like outro. Anyway, well, no, because I heard this comedian. He tells everyone at the end, "May your pain be champagne," and I was like, that's really dope, you know. So that's my advice to you guys. May your pain be champagne.
Hey.